Hello, YouTube. I am way late on this, but that is for a couple of reasons. And I can already tell you for free that this is going to be a really long one anyway, so I may as well open this by turning it into like a mini vlog of sorts. I First of all, today is September 27th, my birthday September 28th, and my family and I just went out to Jack Casino in Cleveland as part of my birthday celebration on September 25th. And what did I do when I was there? I competed in my very first IRL poker tournament. And we ended up with 34 players in the field, and I happened to come ninth. It didn't get me any money, but I'm pretty proud of the way it all went down. I made a really good fold of pocket kings as an overpair to the board when I could have busted out like 2 hours into the tournament, but instead I made it about 5.2 hours. I had to double up 3 times to get to the final table, and then at the final table I tripled up, but I could go no further. Everybody at the table was really fun to be around, and it was everything I was hoping it would be, as far as actually playing with humans that I could speak to, and humans are dealing to me as well, not robots. And I even brought along a little good luck charm. Well, it's not really good luck charm. My card protector. This is Tony Gwynn, because I figured that if I'm going to go to a casino for the first time outside San Diego, I may as well bring a little bit of San Diego with me. So I made Tony Gwynn my card protector, and I made sure it was okay first. And the thing is, you can't have a card protector that's larger than the card itself, because the dealer needs to know that the cards are still there. No problem. He's a Russian nesting doll. That's a good thing. That means I don't have to carry this big bulky thing in my pocket ever again. I can just go with this from now on. And I may as well come clean and say that I accidentally said something racist with this. The 5K chips at the casino are brown, mostly due to the fact that it's in Cleveland. You know, the Browns, they value the Browns very highly, so they may as well make the brown chips worth 5,000. And the topic of this Russian nesting doll came up, and one of the guys at my table, actually this was at the final table, said that you could probably sell this thing and it'd be worth 3 brown chips. And I'd be like, well, yeah, I mean, for starters, he is brown. And that's when I turned red and busted about 5 minutes later. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, that's how you know I've got Asperger's syndrome, when I just say stuff without ever thinking about it. I did not mean anything by that. It just blurted out of my mouth. Thankfully, we just had a good laugh about it. Nobody accused me of anything bad. I could tell that they knew that it was totally accidental. I didn't mean anything by it. But yeah, that was just a little bit of stupidness that transpired at that final table. But anyway, you may have noticed that the screen is missing something, and that is the tournament leaderboard. Well, this here is OSS 304, $2,650 buy-in. The lobby that you have for this was for day 2 only. And there were so few people that made day 2 that if I were to show that to you, it would actually spoil who finishes 7th and 8th. So I'm not going to show it to you at all. I will tell you, however, that there were 185 entrants for a prize pool, of 462,500. So I can't even tell you what the money jumps are right now. I can tell you, however, that the short stack has 37 big blinds. I'm going to be abusing the living crap out of that 2x button. Ace Jack in the big blind, certainly with the best of it, decides not to do anything crazy with it. 10, 10, 10 on the board. which happens a lot more with robots than it does IRL, I must say. And the king high decides to call the min raise. I don't know why he min raised there. I guess he called just, to see what he might be able to do later. Giraffe Ganger still has just the ace high, which isn't terrible on a board like this. And that bet is way too small. It's going to get called by ace high every time. I have no idea what the purpose of that bet was. I have no idea what the purpose of Giraffe Ganger's min raise was. I have just bet more. Come on, bet more. Not that hard. Yes, unfortunately, I do not know the countries of this table or the next one, because there are actually two big ones going on at the same time. Obviously, I'm going to separate them into different videos because, this one's extremely long. And that flop's not too far off from the last one we had. No sound effects, by the way, for this one, because I got pretty bad sleep last night. I'm going to be relatively low energy. King, queen, pocket nines. Oh, yeah. I should say also that pocket nines, I got dealt pocket nines once in my tournament. And despite the fact that I was in a spot where I knew in the back of my mind, bro, just fold. I knew in the back of my mind that the objectively correct play would have been to 3-bet all in. But I hate pocket nines so much that I just dumped them. And you know what? Guy on my left, pocket queens. Guy in the 1 seat, ace jack suited. And they both would have beaten me. Another spot where I could have busted out, but because I made an illogical move, I got to stick around for much longer. Which wasn't necessarily a good thing, because I was also there with my family, and I did inconvenience them just a little bit by lasting as long as I did. But obviously, my family's not going to say, man, why'd you play so well? Of course, they were happy for me. And the experience was worth it, in any case. I didn't get any money, but I got enough of the experience that I know now that my game, at least to some extent, translates from IRL to, or from computer tournaments to IRL tournaments. And one thing I noticed is some of the laydowns that I got a little bit that I get a little exasperated over watching these other guys make, that I don't usually make myself in these tournaments, I made and helped to increase my participation in the tournament. So appalled there, busted draw, thought he would just try and get a bluff going, but the pair of nines is a little too much to fold there. Pretty standard stuff there. But yeah, I actually made some critical laydowns in spots where I probably would have gone for it here on ACR. So that gives me almost enough of a motivation to give ACR another try. What did I learn from playing IRL that I can actually do to play better here? I'm not there yet, but I am considering. Pocket aces for So Appalled. Giraffe Ganger with a perfectly normal raise to King Jack, or raise with King Jack. You know who I am, makes it, well, just calls with ace 3 suited, and no flop, but I don't think So Appalled minds. King Jack, by the way, one more thing about my game. I got dealt King Jack 3 times in the first 10 hands, and then I never got it again. So, I guess even IRL hand distribution is pretty wacky. My family just got backed, so I might have to help them. Luckily, I can just pause this, and you won't... Oh, ignore that stuff in the corner. That's the other lobby that's now being shown, and it's kind of ugly. Let me get that for you. There. Just something I remember to bring that back when this is finally over, and I can show you the final prize pool totals. You know who I am, making the raise. Joof. I have no idea why you're calling with 8-2, but you got a straight draw now. And you've got it now, somehow. You know who I am, stuck with just third pair. I can't delay this any longer. It's going to be removed from ACR if I wait any longer. So I won't be able to talk about it at all, but I really don't have much energy to talk about this. I had a great day on Monday, and then I was just kind of low energy most of the day yesterday anyway, just because there was just a natural letdown after you had a great day the day before, and then I went to bed too late anyway. Then when I finally got to sleep, I woke up way too early. I can't put this off another day. I was hoping that they cowered out and did a deal, but nope. I have to call it. I have to call both games. Giraffe with an up and down straight draw. I like that he's just going for it and betting. And he picks it up. This is the same type of tournament that we saw earlier that had 20-minute blinds throughout, so I'm assuming that's what this was. Uh-oh, you know who I am. Hitting two pair there with a Doyle Brunson hand. Oblio with top pair, top kicker in terrible shape. Giraffe airballed that one. Airballed it real hard. Oblio with a good sizing, I think, there for that C-bet. Got the riffraff out of the way, and, well, here comes the big hand. Now you can just call and reassess. Queen of clubs completes quite a few hands, actually. So Oblio definitely won't be raising here. Oh, wow. Wasn't expecting a check from You Know Who I Am, but now he's exercising pot control. And not sure I like that bet from Oblio, considering his bet was check raised on the flop and he didn't improve. When you've only got one pair, that's a good time to exercise pot control yourself. And I have no idea what is taking You Know Who I Am so long here. None whatsoever. This is such an easy snap call. Maybe he made the final table of the other one. I haven't checked that one yet. Bro! You're killing me! You have two pair. Finally! And he went all in. I have no idea why he did that either. He went for pot control, then took 30 minutes, and said, you know what? Nah, I'm not doing pot control. I'll just go all in, even though that turn card just completed a ton of hands that would beat me. Queen 10, King Jack, Jack 8. Afonso, you have 3-7 offsuit. Fold! No one cares about Time Bank. That's another thing about the IRL tournaments. It's really hard to multi-table in IRL tournaments. So you know what they do? Actually play fast. The only times anyone tanked in my IRL tournament was if it was post-flop and they're going for all their chips. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Donationator. With a very pretty hand that should get cleared. I gotta say, I'm especially unimpressed and eye rolling towards min raises when the table is so deep like this. Everybody's got chips. Why min raise? Put a little bit of heat on these guys because everybody can afford to play around a little bit, yourself included. This could be my worst commentary video yet. I just don't have any energy. But I really wanted to get this out there. Ooh, Alfonso. 3-betting with a marginal hand there in early position. And ace-jack hits the muck like we see in every final table ever, but I totally get it in that case. Usually you see a 3-bet from early position like that. You know, it's got to be like ace-queen at worst. So Alfonso, I think, might be done feeling the table out, and he starts thinking that he can pick some spots to bully these guys around a little bit if he wants to. Standard raise there with queen 10, but we see what's really about to go down here, 10s and 9s. There's a straight 3-bet shove. You went from 140,000 to 2.2 million. That is a really big all-in. And Giraffe Ganger gets away from the pocket nines. Sir, you have just won the Super Bowl. Congratulations. You resisted the temptation. That's probably a call still for you know who I am. Alfonso, however, has top pair. And you know who I am has absolutely nothing. Let's move on. Again, if they're multi-tabling, and the other one that I keep referencing was a really, really big one, so if they're at that final table as well, oh, like, okay, I get it. Wow, that was a huge shove. With 7 high, or 7-9 offsuit. You have a death wish there. Like, it's one thing if they are actually multi-tabling, because they couldn't pick one big tournament to play, so they want to play in both, and they're still somehow standing in both of them. But if they're not multi-tabling, imagine sitting with these guys IRL and how absolutely insufferable they would be. Oh my. Well, we have a huge pot building already. Alfonso with just ace high and the big kicker, Oblio, overplaying it maybe a touch by raising and then calling a 3-bet with just an ace 5. Now he's got a pair. It is good. Alfonso has been checked to, and he's wasting time bank. He's just not sure if he wants to bluff or not. You know what? I was in that spot several times. But you know what? 105,000. If you're going to blocker bet, don't make it that painfully obvious. Alfonso now has a chance to run you the heck over with an all-in. If you want to make a blocker bet, make it like 355,000 or something like that. Anyway, let's see if he does that. But, like, as for being checked to when you were tempted to bluff, you know what I did when I was in that spot? I then quickly checked back because I realized that if I checked, that if I waited a long time and then bluffed, it was going to look super fishy. Oh, he does just call with the ace high, just in case it's good. So Oblio gets away with one there. He does at least do a good job in holding on to that bottom pair, figuring that he might well be up against a big ace. So, you know what? Actually, maybe he had a perfect soul read on the situation, actually. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. They just had him straight on a big ace and played it accordingly. I still would have bet more for the blocker, but nope, he did well. He did very well there. I'm doing way too much of just looking at a weird number and immediately issuing judgments. But fact is, I still struggle to play much smaller tournaments, and these guys are final tabling $2,650 tournaments, so what they are doing is working. Not much to say there. Alfonso picks up big pocket pair, re-raises, and now he picks up bigger pocket pair. Time for another re-raise, and a quick one at that. Even though I have it on 2x, that's still very quick. Probably going to end quickly. Except this is who you know who I am. He never folds quickly. Whoa! Oh, he went for it. Bad timing, though. Can't blame him, though. Alfonso's been doing a lot of pre-flop 3-betting, and he makes it 1 million more, just 1 million more. But now with King 5, you have to dump it. There's no upside to calling here, even with the odds you're getting. You already put in way too much. Just, this is not worth playing a pot for. Oh my goodness, you absolute idiot! When is Alfonso ever bluffing? Like, when? Maybe they just have a lot of history with each other and he's seen Alfonso make a sick bluff like that. And when I say bluff, when we're talking about this big of a bet, like, bluffing would include, like, ace-jack suited or ace-queen. Or pocket nines or things like that. Like, that would even be considered a bluff in this spot. You know who I am with King 5 is willing to ride or die on this PKO with King 5 facing a 5-bet to 2.2 million. Who 5-bets from 1.2 to 2.2 million without aces? I mean, really. Who 5-bets just 1 million more on top of 1.2 without pocket aces? Apparently Alfonso did in a previous life, but not this time. You know who I am is executing an incredible punt. I mean, really, that is some majestic punting on display. Second biggest stack at the table, like, by far, way above everybody else at the table except for Alfonso. and he punts it all in for 5.6 million with King 5 of clubs. Woo! You know how my Raiders, for 2 years in a row, our rallying cry has been, well, at least we're not the Broncos? You guys out there, at least you're not this guy. Oh, he does not deserve to even have that much of a chance. He needs a king or a 5. Nope. Alfonso gets the knockout. You know who I am. At the very least, we can safely say had a fantastic tournament to get here with 8,300 in his bounty pockets. So he does know how to play. He just forgot when it really counted there. And the rest of the table is now probably already adding you know who I am to their Christmas card list for giving them extra money. There had to have been history. There was absolutely some history there that we don't know about. No way he would ever do that if he wasn't familiar with Alfonso in some way. You disgust me. I mean, I know people like to do deals because they're afraid of variance and blah, blah, blah. Why are you in a casino if you don't like variance? But, Giraffe, what you just saw there wasn't variance. What you saw was madness. If you're not mad, you can ladder up. You can actually do it yourself. You don't need to shake everybody's hands and call it a day in order to ladder up here. You just need to not go all in with King 5. Not much to see here. You know what else that I experienced in my IRL tournament? C-bets larger than a quarter of the pot. Generally. There were some wildly different styles as you would expect from just some Cleveland Casino $140 buy-in game. Which made it fun. It's fun to play like that. It's fun to play with different people who have some understanding of what they're doing, but they just have very different ways of going about it. GTO just makes poker so much less fun to watch. I have always felt that. Okay, this guy just wasted his entire time bank folding 5-8 offsuit. Congratulations. Alfonso with King Queen offsuit just went from 168,000 to effectively 2.9 million. You see, this is what he does when he doesn't have aces. Would he do this with aces? Hell no. Hell no. He would make up like 500,000 tops. So we know that Alfonso has a penchant for crazy, ridiculously risky moves pre-flop, but he wouldn't be doing that with 2 aces. Giraffe now met with an interesting decision here, and I think Alfonso's doing this because he sees that evil green circle. He knows Giraffe doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks here. And Ace-Jack all in for 36 bigs? That would be an unnecessary risk. Let's see if he actually has the guts to call here. Surely he has to know that Alfonso doesn't have aces this time. He just doesn't want to risk it. He had to know he was being messed with. But he just doesn't want to risk it. Obliu with the one thing you'd never want to see when you got pocket kings. And sure enough, Alfonso's got him. And how's Obliu going to put Alfonso on an ace? His range is basically the entire deck at this point. Never mind. Never mind. Not even a factor anymore. Obliu gets one call. No reason at all to slow down here. And he could have bet more than that. But, you know, it's still progress. And that does actually give him second place. So good for him. He's at 50 big blinds now. You do have to feel for Giraffe. Now with You Know Who I Am out of the way, Alfonso is on his direct left. So he can bluff all in all he wants over Giraffe Ganger if he doesn't show Alfonso that he's willing to put up some resistance. And Juf has a pretty nice board there. I would have bet the flop. I would have bet the turn. It's been checked down the whole way. Now the board's not quite as nice for Queen 10 there, but then again, he probably is playing relatively soft because he knows that Giraffe is less likely than anybody else here to do anything too crazy post-flop. So it works out nicely for JJ Oof. $2.5x, I like that. GG Sucks had to have been at least pondering 3-betting all in there. Although, to be fair, probably a good thing he didn't, because Alfonso, this is a PKO. And if Alfonso is really wanted to, he could just say, you know what, screw it. I'm going for that $1,500. I hope I have live cards. Because with that chip stack, he can afford a really loose call. Okay, got draw versus draw here. Obliu with hearts. Alfonso with 7-6. Alfonso hits first, which is good because it makes the hand more dramatic. Obliu can steal it back. Pot-sized bet. He does not want to see the board pair or another heart on there. He is smart. And Obliu decides to fold that. I think that's pretty good discipline on his part. Has to figure that with the ace out there, plus straight cards, that the queen and the jack are not outs. He needs to hit a heart, and he just doesn't want to risk that much of a stack right now. Somebody has to stand up to Alfonso, but it doesn't have to be in a spot like that. He can wait for a better spot, especially with the blinds as large as they are. Or as small as they are, relative to these stacks. Alfonso, though. Whew! 166.5 big blinds. I can't recall the last time I saw that many big blinds in one stack at a final table. Weird bet. Alfonso check calls a small bet. Then a club hits, giving him a straight draw as well. And then he donk bets for nearly the minimum. But it worked. You would think that if he had 2 clubs, he would have raised, but maybe that you can argue that play got taken away by JJ Oof already bluffing him. It was another very quick decision by Alfonso. Maybe that's what threw him off. Well, that and he didn't have anything. GG Sucks has shown absolutely no fight at this final table so far. Except against GG Poker, I guess. I assume that's referring to GG Poker. Alfonso realizes that this is probably a guy that will fold the most bets. Folding 8-9 there. Well, he is the short stack, so I do get it, and I'm terrible at blind v blind, so. Understood. There's a limp. Going for a limp shove, no doubt. Donationator with a suited queen. Smart to not take him up on that. He's got a piece of it. So Paul, though, has a very big piece of it. And he min bets. Donationator. Thinking, okay, this guy limped in, and we have 3 giant cards on the board, now he's calling me. I have a queen. I mean, I'm either already drawing almost dead, or he has absolutely nothing. So he sticks around for one more street. Solo Paul now with a chance to size up a little bit. Or a lot. Just instantly goes for a pot. Donationator realizes it's probably not worth it anymore because he's not going to improve his hand by much. We know he was drawing dead there. All blue with a limp. Alfonso with 4-9 of clubs min raises over the limper? Aren't you supposed to make it at least 3x when somebody limps? Well, he's doing it his way, and his way has obviously worked so far. And he's got 2 clubs now. Nobody else has any. Does go for the, again, another very small bet. Just because everyone else is doing it. The pocket 8 stick around. You bet any more, the hand's yours already. But maybe that's his design. Maybe he wanted him to stick around. Pretty brickish card. Oh. And no follow-up bet from Alfonso. JJ Oof with a chance to hold on and nick him for a few chips. And Alfonso just doesn't want to follow it up. I'm sure he's kicking himself looking at those cards. He knows that he definitely could have pushed him off, but at the same time, you don't want to get too predictable. So now he's planted a seed of, okay, you know what, maybe this guy doesn't bluff every single time in these guys' minds. Maybe they'll take his next big bluff more seriously. Could be trying to balance his range post-flop. It's a good thing Donationator folded that 10-6, because he would have been met by a lot of shrapnel. Just a call with the ace-jack suited. Obliu, though, is going to be happy he did. He missed that flop completely. JJ Oof with queens has nothing to fear in that board. Except for ace-5 or king-5. Does Obliu have enough to call that? Maybe, but he elects to fold because JJ Oof actually bet a little more than a quarter of the pot. Alfonso is just an automatic min raise with check 5 of diamonds. You know, when you got the whole table covered like you do, personally, I would probably err on the side of tight. Just to make sure that when I do play, I've got a strong hand and I can just take care of it from there. With a chip lead that massive, I would just go for mistake-free poker. But Alfonso plays it his way, and obviously it has been working. GT sucks with 12 big blinds left. Does make the mid-raise, though. He's got a big pocket pair. Is Alfonso smart enough to get away from it? Well, he does just call. That's pretty smart. And that bet should tell him to get out. So GG gets a little bit healthier, but not much. I'll believe you the only one with a good hand here. And he limps again. What's going to happen this time? Alfonso just checks. I think that was the idea for Oblio, was to go all in if Alfonso raised. Now with top pair and a queen kicker, he does min bet. Alfonso has a gut shot. GG Sucks has a gut shot. Getting 61 in his money? Yeah, that's a call. And now there are hearts out there. Oblio has the best heart. Alfonso can now win with a 10 as well as a 5. GG needs a 7. And Oblio just needs a brick or a heart. 5. Everything is coming up, Alfonso. There's the pot size bet, and I like it too because that straight's actually pretty well disguised. Oblio has enough of a hand that he could still pay this off. And you know that Alfonso will pull this crap all the time with nothing. I wouldn't fault him at all for calling. And again, he bet very, very quickly. As if it was premeditated that he was going to do that no matter what the river was. But he gets away from it. That's an impressive lay down there from Oblio. But I like the play by Alfonso going for pot there. Now it's time for... Actually, he might call this. I don't want him to. 1.1 million can be precious. Okay, no. He's not that crazy. But, you know, PKO, live cards. I wouldn't have. Well, no, some people might. But I think Alfonso now, having just secured that $8,300 bounty and having 13,408 already secured, I think by now he's no longer considering bounties. Well, this is probably going to be a chop. Into his decision making. He's already got so much of it, he may as well just go for getting to heads up and then taking it down from there. Oblio folds ace-jack suited. Donation Nader, who, to be fair, has been relatively tight, makes the 3-bet with ace-jack offsuit. Oblio is not going to want to see that one on the replay. JJ Oof says no to ace-2. Not really sure what I would have done in that spot. I probably would have called, though. Donationator. Another good spot to raise. I give Alfonso credit. He's very fast. Makes up his mind quickly, and the fast speed at which he plays can certainly be off-putting. Anybody who can make up their mind as quickly as he does, you have to fear to some extent. Oh my! Giraffe Ganger actually manning up there for once, despite the evil green circle still being there, and he gets rewarded for it. With top two, Alfonso with just a pair of aces, this is the game changer that we've been waiting for. 150,000 into a pot of 1.63 million. Alfonso just calls, does not take the obvious all-in bait. That's a much better blocker bet. Alfonso misses. I assume here's the shove. Mm-hmm. Wow, it worked out beautifully. Congratulations, Giraffe. You actually played that one beautifully. Very strange numbers might have actually helped confuse Alfonso into making that river call. Maybe thought he was full of crap from the moment he bet less than 10% of the pot. But he was not. And we finally have a clear secondary frontrunner. That flop couldn't have helped anybody at any time. Which means So Paul can bet, and Alfonso might actually call. Yeah, he does. Good time to check back, I think. Mm-hmm. And now a double-paired board makes it a little easier to stick around with your ace high. Unless he does that. Unless he just shoves to make your life absolutely miserable. Maybe he knows exactly what you have and thinks he can get you off of it. And he's correct. This brilliant big stack bully move by Alfonso. The king had showdown value, but he turned it into a total bluff. Was he really willing to risk going out in 7th for that? It's hard to be willing to do that. GG sucks in a pretty good spot here. I thought he might open shove. His other options are pretty murky with King Queen, to be honest. So open shoving it's a little bit big in the vacuum, but I like it. Donationator, thinking about it, does not have much on the bounty docket quite yet. And look at that. He's cut the flop to get him out right here, right now. GG Sucks is going to need a king or a queen, and it cannot be the king of hearts. Donationator desperately wants another knockout, and he might have one right here. Yes, he does. GG Sucks is drawing dead and eliminated in 7th place. Gutsy call by Donationator. Gets him up to 5.15 million. And we're down to 6. Which means I can show you the leaderboard now, actually. Hold on, let me pause it real quick. There you go. That is what we're playing for. And we have, let's see. Oh, we got Chris Moneymaker in 10th place. I'm winning anyway in 11th. Why do you fold? We've seen him a few times. In 23rd. To min cash. And then there's these final 4. Final 6. All in with Queen 10 for So Appalled. I don't know about that one. But that is a pretty good 3-bet shoving stack. Brave move. But the correct move in the end, because, you know, Afonso does not have to have a hand to raise with. So Appalled's bounty total is, like I said, small enough that Afonso probably isn't thinking about it. Obliu with a chance to double up now if he wants to do the same thing Donationator just did. JJ Oof with a really, really big all-in, unnecessarily so. Could easily just raise to 325 or so. Wow, but it still works. Does Game Theory Optimal actually tell you to just open shove in a spot like that? Uh-oh, JJ Oof. The suited ace, and smartly gets away from it. That was a brave all-in and a pretty impressive fold. Giraffe, though, in trouble now against Afonso. There's the limp, and there's the 500,000, which I think he was going for, but he does have a whole lot of chips, and he does manage to limit the damage so far. Great flop for Afonso, giving him top pair, top kicker, and Giraffe the gut shot. Afonso, though, charging him a pretty big price. And probably by design. There's a lot of turn cards he doesn't want to see. That one is safe. And he's glad to have the call. Now I do want to bet on the turn here. 1.4? 1.5? $1.75. Giraffe knows he's not even getting close to the right odds now. And Afonso with a nice pickup indeed. Made the big raise pre-flop and kept it big. Kept his foot on the gas. Knew he liked that flop. Knew that there's a lot of cards he didn't want to see. So well done, and he's back up to 12.25 million. He's back to being pretty much in total control of himself here. And everybody else. JJU folding ace-9 under the gun there with 30 big blinds. Just did not want to deal with anybody else here. But you can see that he most likely would have just picked up the pot right there. I think 6-handed, you gotta go with that in some way, shape, or form. Donationator! Hitting trip 3s. Though again, if JJ Oof raises, I doubt he's in the hand at all. 10 of clubs. Breaks everything out. Donationator has to go for value now. So Appalled has just queen high. And yeah, that's too much. But if So Appalled had any pair that was just, you know, playing cautiously this whole time, then that could work. Bonzo raising, as usual. JJ Oof with ace-3. Now it does call. Bonzo needs a 7 for a straight. But more likely he'll just bet and take it down. And again, he's constantly acting quickly. So Appalled might have shoved all in there if it wasn't for that overcall by Afonso. If it was just one of them, he probably goes all in there, but not against 2. I can't disagree with that. Afonso with top pair. Giraffe Danger had just a gut shot. Now he's got the pair and the gut shot. Afonso somewhat on the back foot. Has a value hand. He'll just call there. Neither player likes that 4 of spades on the river. Question is, does Giraffe bluff here? Does he want to represent that spade? He still has value. But they do go check, check. Fonso with another pickup. Not a huge one, but every win feels pretty good. Oh my goodness. JJ Oof with Ace King, Obliu with King King, Giraffe with Ace Queen, and the Ace 9 is betting here. Donationator has no idea what he just stepped into. JJ Oof, all in. Obliu, all in. Giraffe can probably get away from Ace Queen at this point, and he does. Donationator is not even thinking about it. All right. And JJ Oof is down to 1 out. There's 1 ace left. I don't see any other help coming. It's got to be... He's got a 1-outer. That's it. And... Oh, he hit the 1-outer! Obliu out in 6th place on a 1-outer. JJ Oof up to 5.4 million. And we are down to 5 just like that. Obviously, JJ Oof with, like, what else is he going to do but go all in with Ace King? There's nothing wrong that he did. It just happened that it was a 1-outer. And he is unbelievably lucky. Open shove, although that's understandable. Reasonable size there. Ace Jack. 5-handed, nobody should be folding that. So appalled. Interesting move there, just with the regular raise. And now what to do? You've completely airballed. Now you're just min-betting 1/11th of your stack. JJ Oof with the 6 of clubs decides not to go anywhere, and he's right. The king is good. The 6 of clubs is the part of his hand that's actively working, though, and he's now got a gut shot to go with it. Now he leads out. Probably figuring out that So Appalled just doesn't really have a lot to work with, and that min bet was just an act of desperation. So Appalled has nowhere to go here except for fold. Down to 10 big blinds. Yeah. If you really wanted to see things through there and win the hand, I think you have to just shove there. As hard as that is to do. Royal flush draw. We probably won't see it, though. Uh-oh. Oh, Afonso is timing this one poorly. Okay, well, actually, he's got the best hand now, funny enough. No, he doesn't. The 10 is still a bigger pair. And he gets the straight. Good job, Giraffe Danger. He does not have the best hand. I was focusing on the draw so much that I forgot that he also had a pair. JJ Oof. Ace 10 of clubs. It's all over that previous board. Couple 6s for Afonso. Just a call. I like that. Keeping his options open. JJ Oof with a very good flop. Afonso with, I guess, a keep him honest kind of call, but I don't know what he's hoping for on the turn other than a 6. I just feel like there's a little bit too much scare cards out there that the 6s just aren't really worth participating in any longer. Of course, I could see the cards, so I could say that with ease. Donationator. Ace Jack of diamonds. Raise. JJ Oof with a pair. Not a good pair, though. And Afonso with another suited ace of his own. Giraffe and So Paul have nothing. 9-7 queen. All the early hands at my table IRL were involving 9s and 7s. Donationator does get rid of it. I'd be somewhat tempted to test the waters, but now we do have an actual ICM consideration with So Paul here. And not for long, So Paul's got a shove here. Pair of 8s 5-handed, no way he folds. And Giraffe happens to have pocket 9s. Got him pipped by 1. And nothing in there for So Paul, no backdoors whatsoever. Just got to hit an 8. But we saw 1-outer, how hard is a 2-outer? Hard. So Paul, well done, sir, on 5th place. Giraffe Ganger gets the knockout, gets the bounty, and now up to 6.27 million. Afonso, oh, nice. You know what? I might take a personal break as well. But luckily, you guys won't miss anything. Okay, like I said, if I hadn't told you, you guys wouldn't even know any better. Donationator and JJ Oof with similar hands. But JJ Oof wants to play it harder. Does not get the job done, though. Donationator's kind of onto something. That, or he just really wanted to play that 6-4 of hearts. I like it. And he's got the hearts. 2 of them. JJ Oof. Well, definitely not in the hand with 1 bet, but he certainly can't be faulted for trying. And now they both have flush draws. There is a 50%, actually there's more like a 44% chance that the river card will make somebody very happy. Because there's more diamonds and spades than there is clubs and hearts, because there's already clubs and hearts that have been used. JJ Oof betting with authority now. Donationator having to really question whether the draw is even worth it at this point, and he really can't be blamed for folding there, because as far as potential pair outs, he's only got a 6 and a 4. He doesn't know that they still would have been good. If JJ Oof had any kind of pair, then it's just down to the hearts, and this just wasn't worth it there. I have no idea what Giraffe is doing calling with 10-5 offsuit. None whatsoever. Min bet. And it somehow works because he called a raise with 10-5 offsuit. Oh, so that sneeze got into my beard. Great. Luckily, I now have, for my birthday, a little bit in advance, I've got a new razor, a Philips Norelco, so I can get rid of all this stuff. And immediately warp into being 23.5 again, instead of 28. Afonso, of course, has dominated this final table. But the other guys aren't all that far off. They just look like they're far off. course, if the blinds were larger, then this would be really volatile. Ooh, hold on, let me slow this down. JJ Oof raising with... I didn't really had a pair of twos. But yeah, he had the 2 with the top kicker. Loves the hand. Alfonso, with 9 high and no draw, made the call. And now the return card is a complete brick. And for some reason, he just called with 9 high. And didn't do anything. I guess waiting to see if JJ Oof checked. I mean, players do that sometimes. Calling just to bluff, and if he's still going, then I guess don't bluff, but 9 high, no draw? I don't know. You would think if you're calling to bluff, you would at least have a hand with some potential at all. But he did that with 9 high, no draw. Disappointment there, the pocket aces don't reel anything in. Alfonso with a big hand this time. JJ Oof with a couple of 2s. And he is actually building a big stack himself. He'll call, hoping to set mine, obviously. Which would really make things interesting, because it would probably be enough to take Alfonso down a peg on the chip pecking order, but Alfonso now bets a quarter of the pot, and the 2s are still standing. Alfonso gets a 4th spade on the turn, and checks. I guess even he's starting to spook himself with being involved with a 3 million chip pot with no made hand yet. And JJ Oof takes the initiative and bets, again, a quarter of the pot. I don't understand why they aren't sizing up a little bit, especially with them being so deep. There is the call, and JJ Oof gets the Dream River card. Well, now he can size up. Like, we're only seeing pot and quarter pot. There's very little in between. It just seems like it anyway. Okay, that's a nice in-between bet. Alfonso only has ace high. He's not calling this bet. But this will be a big enough pot for JJ Oof to take the lead. Alfonso will have to switch up his game a little bit. Well, maybe not. He still does have 79 big blinds. But I think when you're 4-handed, you have no choice but to play it by chip position. What do you guys think in the comments? I believe that when there's still multiple tables left, then your strategy should only depend on how many blinds you have. Like, how big your stack is. Because there will be table reshufflings, and you won't get short-handed for a while unless you're down to, like, 2 or 3 tables. But even then, it'll reset. It'll restock, you know? You don't need to think about positions too much. But when you're at a final, then your strategy should probably be dictated on your position relative to everybody else, because this is it. You're not facing any other opponents besides these guys. And Giraffe Ganger may be overplaying that pair of 4s a bit. JJ Oof facing a very small raise. Easy call. But unnerved a bit, I would imagine. Thing is, though, that queen doesn't really change a lot, because Giraffe Ganger wouldn't have done that with just Queen X, and now he just checks behind. So, yeah, that was just an overplay of a pair of 4s. That's all there was to it. And again, JJ Oof with a monster pair that won't get anything out of his hand. Oh, he even goes with a 4x raise just to act like there's nothing different about it. You know, I appreciate that. I see it way too often. Somebody picks up a huge pair and they're like, I'm going to raise like 3 more chips. Please call me. Please call me. Please, for the love of God, call me. You know, it's nice to actually see an original take on that, you know. I'm going to make it 4x. This is small blind, big blind. I know you don't believe me. Come on, go over the top of me. I dare you. But yeah, as far as strategy adjustments, that was my thoughts on it anyway. Sevens! It's JJ Oof's turn to have the table tilted his way. And you'd think Donationator would get a little piece of it, but nope. He does go for the bet. I mean, you can't really blame him. You would not expect that flop to help your opponent, ever. JJ Oof. Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. Donationator picks up a flush draw, but he also picks up a dead draw because JJ Oof's got a boat now. Donationator could play this hard or he could play it soft. He goes for soft. JJ Oof now, probably a good spot to check back where I can see the cards. And just hope that a red card hits the river. I mean, he's going to bet. He's not going to bet too much, though. I like that sizing. It's not insanely small, but it's also... It'll keep around anybody who was still interested. Oh my goodness! And he is out of here. Donationator. Wow. Now he's just got double trips. Donationator bluff shoves with the 10 high flush draw, and JJ Oof says, well, I was planning on you hitting a flush, but I guess this works too. You're trying dead, dude. Alright, Donationator, you gotta respect the effort. He was getting real short. He had to try something, but he could not have picked a worse time to do that. You know, there are plenty of worlds where that move looks brilliant, but he never gave JJ Oof credit for a hand with the board being so ragtag like it was. Giraffe Ganger, who, by the way, does not have the evil green circle anymore. He's shaped up quite a bit, and he's played well. Guaranteed $27,815. Apparently he's happy now. Alfonso, now well behind JJ Oof, needs to get busy here. He does not want to hit his straight. Giraffe would have a better one. But Giraffe does not want to see a card. Alfonso betting over the pot. Apparently he's not changing his strategy too much. JJ Oof with way too strong of a hand to just check back. Also wasting some time. Middle pair for Alfonso. JJ Oof with, I guess, sort of semi-connections to the flop. It's not a flop I'd be proud of. It does get one call from Alfonso. But, I mean, of course, if you got ace-10, you're going to see bet just about any flop out there. So, totally reasonable bet. Does he want to keep it up? He does, and he's not going to make it a big bet either. That seemed to be his strategy. And he better find something else to do, because Alfonso now has top two. Well, not quite top two, but kings and fives over the threes. He can beat ace-king. I don't think JJ Oof can possibly bet him off. He does check. He kind of sees the writing on the wall. Good for him. And Alfonso managing to get himself back to 10.9 million. Not that he has ever been short by any stretch. Pair of nines for JJ Oof. JJ Oof approaching 15 million again. Ace King suited. Sorry, guys. JJ Oof certainly with a calling hand. And now he's got 4 spades. Jack of diamonds gives Giraffe some draws. 8 for a chop, and of course queen for the win. Ace king would work too. Just can't be a spade. Pretty good bet size there. Giraffe will fold a lot of draw-ish hands, but he doesn't want to fold here. Uh-oh! He hit his queen for the ace-high straight. JJ Oof, though, has the flush. This could be Giraffe's last hand here. Oh, he's going for the all-in right now. Giraffe now has to determine whether or not he's got a flush. That's all there is to it. I mean, JJ Oof is making this play knowing full well that no matter what Giraffe has, he's bluff catching now. He would never, ever, ever do this with less than a king, at the very least. He does go for the all-in. Who can really blame him at that point? Again, he was getting very short. Had to make something happen. He got a great river card. Unfortunately, it was even better for JJ Oof. Great run there. And we are now set for a very lengthy heads up. Alfonso still has JJ Oof well covered in the bounty department, even with JJ Oof's vast efforts over the course of the last 20-ish minutes. Of course, Alfonso got that one absolute gift knockout really early in the final table. One of the worst punts I've ever seen. And he had king 5 of clubs, and look at that board. I had to mention that punt because king 5 of clubs looks really good now. It's beating the aces now. And an 8 of hearts. Ooh. Alfonso adds a baby flush draw to go with his up and out straight draw. JJ Oof now adds a second pair. No way he folds here. Could go with pot control. Could raise also, though, because doesn't really need pot control. We've got so many chips between these guys. Alfonso bets... Oh, that's a good amount. But unfortunately, JJ Oof's got way too much to fold, I think. Except now, the pairs... Oh, the pairs got counterfeit a little bit. King X beats 8-5 now. That's why he folded that. Because King 2-2-X is better than 8-8-5-5 King. That's what he was thinking. He must have had him on a king the whole time and just did not want to pay that off. So nice bluff there, Alfonso. And what is it with 7s and 4s all of a sudden? Alfonso hits trips. What, is there going to be a king on the turn? Not that we'll know. I can't imagine he's going to stick around with it. 8-2. Although you really can't bash anyone's hand selection when your head's up. When your head's up, you're going to play literally anything. It would be nice if you would actually, you know, play once in a while. And then make up your mind. Woo! JJ Oof is all over that one. Alfonso is not. I would say this is a good slow play candidate heads up. He's not pushing too hard. And he does get a call, and oh, he custom ordered that turn card, that's for sure. Alfonso's got to call this bet, whatever it is. That's about right. About 60% pot. And 2 of hearts. Not too much for JJ Oof to be scared of, but he does check it back just in case. Figures that this early and heads up with the blinds still as big or still as small as they are, you might as well wait for a really good spot before pushing too hard. JJ Oof with jack high, no draws, no reason to still be here. Yeah, they both kind of know that they're in this for a really long time now. Middle pair, good kicker for Alfonso. JJ Oof with a gut shot. I don't think I'll see too many checkdowns between these guys. JJ Oof can now win with a 2. 4-7. There's an overbet. JJ Oof getting creative. The overbet has been Afonso's calling card. He called with just that pair of 8s. He just does not believe JJ Oof. JJ Oof hits a pair of 5s. What does he want to do now? Does he want to see this bluff all the way through? Yes! He's going to bluff all the way through. Afonso only has the pair of 8s. How could he possibly risk his entire stack in this spot? I mean, really, how? Oh my goodness, an incredible call by Afonso Ribeiro. Incredible call. Just a pair of 8s. And he sees through that bluff almost immediately. I could never have made that call, let alone that quickly. This dude is a legend. This dude is one phenomenal poker player. Remind me to forfeit my stack anytime I see him at my table. I mean, you can't do that. Not online. Apparently you can't IRL. Just gotta pretend that you got somewhere else to be. Middle pair for JJ Oof. Try and get back in this. After getting absolutely sucker punched by Afonso. And the pair of 9s is still good. No, it isn't. Afonso has a straight. Sorry. And there's his patented overbet, but this time it does not result in a call. Oh, yeah. Afonso might have been able to make that call because he knew that JJ Oof has not been overbetting much. It's pretty much been only Afonso's move. The fact that JJ was using the overbet when he doesn't normally do it, maybe that's what tipped him off the whole time. Ooh, creative by JJ. Needs something good to happen, like, right now. And, oh, God, that's got to be disheartening when Afonso calls anyway. JJ gets a little bit of help with the gut shot, but he's only got king high in the gut shot now. He's going to keep betting, though. And he's going to be very happy with that fold. Don't really know what Afonso was hoping for with that call. Again, kind of weird. Afonso's not going to let that limp go through with ace-jack. JJ Oof with a whopping 490,000 to call. He does with 10-3 and gets rewarded with a 10 and a 3. I probably would have folded there myself. Or just raised in the first place, but then that'd probably still be getting 3-bet by the ace-jack. Good reason to bet there. There's plenty of connection there that you would expect Afonso to have a little bit of. And he does sort of have connection, at least on the flop, but that's completely taken away with that 2 of diamonds. JJ Oof happy with this development. Afonso's drawing dead, and I think he can fold this. Oh, Afonso with a pretty big misread here. After reading JJ brilliantly earlier. This is a misfire. Does he really think that he can end the game right here, right now? Okay, he does fold there at least. But JJ Oof right back in it. I guess I got to be in 1x the whole way from here on in. Pair of 3s for Afonso. JJ Oof. 10 high. I mean, these guys are playing at a really high level. Their moves are definitely over my head. Well, helps that I didn't sleep that well. Afonso bets the pair. JJ Oof probably just gives this one up. Okay. Here's that king 5 again. And, well, the 5 would be helpful to JJ. He needs a 5 or 10 to hit a straight. God, I've got to do another final table. Luckily, the next one is Omaha, which A, is my favorite game, and B, they tend to go really fast no matter how big the blinds are. Or how deep the stacks are relative to the blinds. Again, Alfonso's blocking JJ's straight outs, unbeknownst to either player. This is probably a call, though. There's a 9. That's helpful. To both players, actually. Alfonso can still win with a jack now. And he sure loves to put pressure on the other guys. Goes 80% pot. And it's good enough. Pair of 9s goes in the muck. He paired up and still folds. It's just the power of a big Alfonso bet. Ace high doesn't look terrible on that board. It's connected and everything, but if you're missing it, then you're missing it. And ace high is pretty good. King 7 versus ace 7. And similar story with this one. Five of spades. Alfonso with a chance to take it back with a 4th spade. And instead, it's the 7 that all harbingers of chaos were hoping to see. I'm kind of surprised they actually bet, but it worked out nicely. They just figured that the 7 was good enough, and it was. Alfonso really had no choice but to call there. JJ Oof is now out of time bank. He was checked to with 10 high. That was too hard of a decision for him, apparently. Sixes against kings. Let's see if Alfonso has some restraint here. You don't have to immediately shove a pair heads up when you've got deep stacks. Okay, good. He does show restraint, especially with JJ quadrupling the raise. Again, JJ trying things a different way than we usually see. Normally, it's just a straight click back min raise with pocket kings just praying for a call, but now he's making the raise big to avoid immediate suspicion. Alfonso calls the first bet. There's a lot of draws out there. He's hoping that he's just got one of those. The 10, though, completes a lot of those draws, and he's just going to shove with the pocket kings. Which, that board's actually quite similar to the one I was referring to in my game. Yeah, I like the shove there. There's a lot of bad river cards, and he picked up a lot of ground with that hand. Plus, if Alfonso happens to have a queen, he might pay him off and go for the kill right there. JJ Oof almost even now. And he resists the temptation to bet, which is good, because I don't think Alfonso's going anywhere. And he actually bets $1 million. And he's correct. He has the best hand. Okay, obviously I lied. I'm still using 2x. So I need to get this done so I can get the Omaha one done. Alfonso does not re-raise. Ace of diamonds. Scare card for both. JJ Oof just keeps on bluffing. Alfonso not going anywhere, and he is correct this time. But I must say, in general, he is a pretty tough man to shake. What does JJ Oof want to do here with absolutely nothing? Move on to the next hand or try and win that 1.1 million? Move on to the next hand it is. Maybe due to the fact that he ran out of time again. King 10, not to a nice start. Now JJ wants to test him. And that's a very nice card for King 10. Especially with the 4 on the board, meaning that that King kicker could still very well play. But 3/4 of the pot from Alfonso. And Queen 9 off suit does fold. Alfonso with top pair. I don't expect JJ to put up a huge fight here. Maybe for one bet. Yeah, he seems to be tapering off here. Nine versus 9. Alfonso's kicker obviously being the best. Oh, and now the kicker is still good, but the problem is JJ Oof has upgraded from kicker to 2 pair. And he auto tank checks. And now he's got a boat, because why not? JJ Oof certainly not going to check anymore. How much does he think we'll get a call? Maybe 1 million? He's going to go full pot. And it works. Well done. Queen, queen against queen 7. As dominant as it gets. And of course there's an ace and a king out there. Because nothing's going to be handed to you on a silver platter. Except for full houses, I guess. They both now have spades. And the same gut shot. But JJ Oof obviously with the betting lead and with the pocket queens. And they're still good. Ooh. Ooh. Alfonso almost going twice the pot here. I don't know what he's representing, but queens are not looking too good there. Any king beats him, any ace beats him, any 2 beats him. I can't say I blame him for folding. Alfonso bet just enough to make it not worth it. Uh-oh. JJ Oof pairs up. Alfonso, though, with a straight. JJ Oof just checks, and he'll be happy he did. Alfonso probably going for full pot here like he usually does. Or full pot plus 1 million. JJ Oof has seen this movie before. Does he want to... Now, he is going to call this time. The thing with bets like that is if you do them repeatedly, they will look like bluffs enough of the time for it to work out for you. 9-6 in excellent shape here. But yeah, JJ folded the queens when they were good and then called that time when he wasn't good. Afonso's strategy working out nicely, and he doesn't give up away anything on this one either. Six four comes up more than empty there. Well, beyond empty, I should say. Afonso with queens and threes. JJ Oof with a 6 and a 4, giving him 6 high. A draw to a good low. Six four working a little better this time. Afonso with an underpair. I thought he might call that one bet. He's shown that pattern before. He does have a pair. Antonio Esfandiari always says it's hard to make a pair. Neither player has a spade. Who wants to bluff one here? Ah, bluffing with the best hand. JJ Oof. Afonso has a black 5, but not the one he wanted. And he calls anyway. What is that call? I mean, he had a bluff catcher, but jeez. JJ was literally bluffing with the best hand and got called anyway. It's always kind of a weird thing to see. Ooh. The same raise size we saw with pocket kings, he's doing now with queen 7 offsuit. He's getting creative. Give him credit. Bonso, though, is just a suited king, does decide to call that 3-bet, as he probably should hit in heads up. Neither player hit anything. JJ continues the pressure. Afonso continues to read him well. Now what? 5.3 million out there. You know it's worth fighting for. But can you really manage to make another bet at it? He decides not to. Afonso. Chance to bluff at the best hand here, and he will take it. And he won't bet that big. At least not by his standards. JJ Oof has had enough of it, though. Well earned by Afonso Ribeiro. With lots of 1s, 9s, and 0s in his chip stack. Pair of 3s now for Afonso. JJ with the nut no pair. Oh, make that pair of kings. $488 from the new best hand. And I expect the old best hand to call. He does. And 2 pair now for JJ Oof. Not completely free of concern, but when your head's up, this is not the nuts, but you're betting it every time. And Afonso, well, we've seen him hero call with some pretty wacky hands, but not this time. JJ has king high. Trouble is, there is just nothing out there. He does make the call, though. You better hope he doesn't hit a king on the river now. He gets a 7, best case scenario. Let's see if Alfonso calls here. Nope. Ten, queen, jack. Giving both players an open ender, eating each other's card, or of course another extraneous solution. There's an extraneous solution. A pair of 6s for Alfonso. JJ now needs to hit something. 3 won't do it. It's got to have a 9 or a ace. He's going to bet pot anyway, and Alfonso just gets rid of it quickly. Again, when the other guy bets pot, who doesn't usually do that, you know, he's adjusted very well to Alfonso's game. I'd say Alfonso has adjusted pretty well to him too, but he's had moments of lapses. The question is, does he make enough mistakes to turn the tide back to JJ Oof? JJ Oof keeping it relatively level with King 10 here. Good thing he is, because he has very little chance against Alfonso. And he just gets rid of it right there. Very good discipline. I would say Pocket Kings have gone to waste, but Alfonso didn't do anything wrong. It's just that JJ happened to make a really good read at the right time. There's a J for JJ. Remember, Spanish speakers refer to jacks as jotas, just J's. Simple enough. Alfonso correctly does not want to hold on to his ace high. Well, 6 is just a call. Draws a plenty for JJ Oof. 4 high a plenty for Alfonso. A 6 would have been chaos, but no, we're left with, what do you think? Bluff of the best hand, bet pot. Or maybe Alfonso bets pot. We've seen him check surrender a couple times. Oh, he's going to go small this time. I'm JJ. I think I can make this call just to keep him honest. There are plenty of missed draws out there. He didn't even have that. Nice call by JJ. And ace 10 doesn't even get used. Better pair for JJ Oof. Alfonso certainly has his chances, though. Ten of clubs, kind of just there. It does kind of seem like a brick. 4 of hearts also seems very brickish. And this may well just get checked down. Well, JJ knows his man, and he calls right away. Great value bet by JJ Oof. We know that Alfonso is not willing to give a whole lot of credit, particularly when there's a river bet and it was checked on the turn. That seems to be a pattern that JJ Oof is taking advantage of. And he has evened this up. Actually, he's got a slight lead. Okay, don't know what that call was for. He had 10 high and no draw. But JJ is using those patterns against Alfonso beautifully. Alfonso probably just waiting for a bet to call. And this time he is correct. This time the pattern does not work out for JJ. Ace-Jack just goes into the muck there. Some certainly would have called there, but again, he's showing discipline when it's called for. It seems that Alfonso is a dominant, excellent player at a full table, but I think I like JJ's chops better heads up. Alfonso is probably like me in Super Smash Brothers. You know, against 3 other players, I can actually handle myself pretty well. But as soon as I'm heads up against one guy who's even a little bit better than me, I crack like an egg. And it happens again. Alfonso just not even thinking about it, paying off another river bet following a checked turn. JJ knows that the 9's good there and knows he'll get a call almost every time out of Alfonso. Alfonso just needs other people to be at the table in order to play his best game. Set. Alfonso loves it. JJ Oof, though, the gut shot in 2 overs certainly isn't going anywhere. He's going to be the one to lead. Does Alfonso raise here to try and prevent a scary turn? Yes, he does. JJ may elect to see it anyway. It's not a great draw, but the overcards might be filling him with determination. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully that paired board takes away that determination because he is now drawing dead. Alfonso has 7s full. And he checks. Oh, that's brilliant. Brilliant slowdown there from Alfonso. JJ. Step carefully. He does. 4. Not the straight that JJ was looking for, but he could pretend to have it. Wouldn't work, obviously. Let's see if Alfonso checks again. He does. Oh, I love it. Now he's following JJ's pattern of betting the river. So they are both adjusting to each other. And good move there by JJ, not going too crazy with the bluff. Although, you would think that given Alfonso's pattern, if you actually wanted him to fold, if he had a marginal hand like, I don't know, King 5, you'd have to bet more than that. So, he probably should have bet more, but it's a good thing he didn't. And Alfonso goes with the overbet raise, because he's been doing that all night, so might as well. But we know that he could have made an illegally small raise, and it still would have resulted in a fold. We saw this setup earlier with Alfonso bullying somebody else out of ace high. Okay, well, now it doesn't even matter. They're both playing on the board, and they are curiously not trying to BS each other. I guess they figured that it's not worth it. They know it won't work. Unless they were to vastly overbet the pot, in which case they're going to make themselves look like an idiot if they happen to be wrong. Ooh, here we go. They both have pairs and the same straight draw. There's that same exact bet of 280,500. Oh, JJ Oof with an excellent card there. Alfonso cannot win the hand anymore. He can only hope to chop it. And he is not really in a position to fold anytime soon. He's got to stick around here. And brick. Don't bet too much, JJ. And you should get a call. The term was not checked, so this won't be an auto call. But it also might be an auto call because he happens to have a decent hand this time. He does bet a lot. And Alfonso calls. I like that he's played quickly, but it might be his undoing here, heads up. Again, what worked at a full table is starting to become a detriment to him, heads up. He's not able to put him away. He just keeps on coming back stronger. Did you oof with a pair? Alfonso looking for anything, really, but that won't do it. Time for pot, call, ship it. Actually, that was less than pot, but it still works. You see, he's becoming predictable. Which is the worst thing that can happen as a poker player, is to become too predictable. Or diamonds. Alfonso, of course, has the diamond. He might get some. He won't get a lot, but wow, he didn't even get that much. I'm a little surprised and impressed with that fold. Couple of nines for JJ. No one with a whole lot to hang their hat on, if they are wearing a hat. 730, and a call from the ace high. Alfonso just becoming a calling station here, and JJ reaping the benefits of it. This has to slow down the river, understandably. But JJ's starting to open up a gap now. If you saw what Alfonso was doing throughout this whole final table, you would have pegged him as the clear favorite. But there is a major difference between getting to heads up and actually playing heads up. Alfonso's got it this time. Don't bet, JJ. You know how this works. There you go. Very nice. I figured Alfonso would call him, and I think he's right. Ooh. Fun flop. It's all Alfonso. So JJ putting himself in some real danger here. Bluffing off 1.1 million in change. Call from Alfonso, which he actually did take a few seconds on, noticeably. Normal otherwise, but Alfonso's usually such a bang-bang player. And 3 diamonds now. Let's see what JJ wants to do now. Alfonso still has a good hand. Okay, he checks. I can't imagine Alfonso... Wow, he is going to bet. Brave move by Alfonso. But again, quick, decisive, and it gets the job done. Ace-queen for JJ Oof. Alfonso now makes the raise to 1.6 million. JJ... thought he might re-raise, but he's okay with 1.6. And that flop is not okay with either player. Half pot from Afonso. JJ probably not figuring him for a 4, but wondering if he's up against a king. If so, then only the ace would be good. But he makes the good call here. Afonso now left with a 2 on the turn. No way he can use that as a bluff card. I mean, he's allowed to try. He sure is trying. JJ would need one heck of a read to proceed with this hand. All he has is the nut, no pair. He calls again. Wow! 16.25 million in the middle. Much more than both these guys have left behind combined. Afonso with 7 high has not been able to shake him. I think he's got to just surrender here. He's not going to surrender. JJ now has to call off the rest of his chips with just ace high. Came this far. Can he see it the rest of the way through? He's got an extra 15 seconds through that break. This is what you need your time bank for, people. He makes the call. 27 million chip pot to JJ Oof. Afonso left with just 2.6. Such great effort by Afonso, but JJ manages to sniff it out all the way down. I told you these guys were playing high-level poker. That is as high as it gets. JJ with definitely enough of a hand to call here. I don't know what's taking him so long. And he's got the 10. Afonso got the 7, though. He's got 5 outs twice. 5 outs once. And that's it. JJ Oof takes the title in dramatic fashion. You gotta give it up to both these players. They played their hearts out, and they gave us quite a show. But that's going to do it from OSS 304. What a finale that turned out to be. Look at those bounties. You know who I am, of course. Had all that massive bounty that Afonso took care of. We don't get to see how many rebuys they had, but because it's a separate lobby. But, whew. That was fun to watch. So I hope everybody enjoyed. I will come at you pretty much immediately after I stop recording this with the Omaha one. Hopefully it doesn't last too terribly long. And yep, that's it. I hope you enjoyed my story. But more importantly, that final table. That was fun. See you for the next one.